Hare Krishna Bhakti Angel Prabhu.
Hare
All boys and assemble devotees. All glories of Srila Prabhupada. When the body's getting the altar ready. Haribol. Haribol. See, while Mother Bunny's getting it ready, I can read today's Prabhupada analogy. We'll do an analogy every day. Material activities for sense gratification are the cause of material bondage, whereas the very same activities for the satisfaction of Krishna are the cause of liberation. How the same activity can be the cause of bondage and liberation can be explained as follows. One may get indigestion due to eating too many milk preparations, condensed milk, sweet rice, and so on. But even though there is indigestion or diarrhea, another milk preparation, yogurt mixed with black pepper and salt, will immediately cure these maladies. In other words, one milk preparation can cause indigestion and diarrhea, and another milk preparation can cure them. That's from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, 30th chapter, text 19. Shri Baba Ki Jai.
Can I say an analogy quick?
Yep.
I was hearing this morning that Srila Prabhupada.
Stay close.
Oh, Srila Prabhupada was talking this morning about there are 9 holes in the body. You know, the belly button, the ear, the nose, the mouth, the rectum, like that. And he said sometimes when a person is very sick and in the hospital, they artificially will give nourishment food up the rectum, but that is artificial, and that we must put food through the mouth for proper nourishment. And then the analogy was with Krishna, that when we think we are loving other living entities or whoever we're loving, we are not loving properly unless we love through Krishna. Krishna has to be our main source. So I thought that was really wonderful.
Okay.
All right, almost ready.
All glories to the assembled devotees. Start shortly. Shri Shri Radhamalinar Raghavinda Gaur Premananda Shri Patajaya. Shrimati Tulsimrani Ki Jai. Vrindayai Tulsideviyai Priyayai Keshava Vishnu Bhakti Paradevi Satyavachanamo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsideviyai Priyayai Keshava Vishnu Bhakti Paradevi Satyavachanamo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsideviyai Priyayai Keshava Vishnu Bhakti Paradevi Satyavachanamo Namaha. Shrimati Tulsimrani Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namo Namah Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namah
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namah.
Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Hey Adivasi
Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Hey Adivasi
Ye Tamara Sanaloy Tara Vancha Purna Hoy
Tamara Sarnavoy Tara Pancha Purna Hoy
Pakori Koro Tare Vrindavana Vasi
Pakori Goro Tare Namo Namasi.
Namo Nama Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
More Avilas Vilas Kunjadi Ovas Mayane Herbosada Yilo Parasi Namo Nama Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Nivedana Dara Sakiranu Gata Koro Seva Adhikara Diye Koro Nijedasi Seva Adhikara Diye Koro Nijedasi Namo Nama Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Dina Krishna Dase Koi Jena Mora Hoy
Dina Krishna Dase Koi Dina Mora Hoy.
Dina Krishna Dase Koi Jena Mora Hoy
Dina Krishna Dase Koi Dina Mora Hoy.
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jena Vasi
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jena Vasi.
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jena Vasi
Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jena Vasi.
Namo Nama Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama
Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama.
Yani Kani Cha Papani Brahma Hacharikani Cha Tani Tani Pranashyante Parakshana Pade Pade
Yani Kani Cha Papani Brahmana Hatani Kani Cha Tani Tani Padakshanti Panachana Pade Pade.
Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani
Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani.
Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinda Devi
Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Priyaya Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradevi Satchavachanamo Namaha Vrindayai Tulsideviyai Priyaya Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradevi Satchavachanamo Namaha Vrindayai Tulsideviyai Priyaya Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradevi Satchavachanamo Namaha. Srimati Tulsimani Ki Jai.
Jai.
Our voices, some of the ways.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Shri Radha Muladhar, Radha Govinda, Gaur Premananda Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakahati Sadmaha Bando Muni Savadana Mate Yahara Prasadi Bhai Ebhavatori Yai Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya Arana Kuriyo Mani Asha Shri Guru Charane Ratihi Ese Utahama Gatihi Ye Prasade Pore Sarva Asha Shri Guru Charane Ratihi Ese Utahama Gatihi Ye Prasade Pore Sarva Asha Chantiranda Kilo Jai Jami Jami Bhase Jami Vatashito Premapiya Jami Jami Naseya Jaya Charito Yurukavya Sambhaya Mandanara Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Nitya Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Hare Namah Krishna Hare Vaya Namaha
Hare Hare Nama Krishna Hare Hare Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Hare Madhvaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan
Gopal Govindaram Sridhari Sridhar.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita.
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita
Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath
Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Shiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raghunath
Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raghunath.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Balade Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Radha Murali Dada Radha Murali Dada Radha Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Nitai Gaura Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Nitai Gaura Hari Om Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Om Namananda Shilpapa Jai
Jai.
The lotus feet of our spiritual masters, the only way by which we can obtain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor, Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread throughout the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Or is it some devotees? Namaste Narashinhaya Paladavadaya Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilakampanakalare Ito Nishina Palato Nishina Yato Yato Yami Yato Nishina Hare Nishimo, Hare Nishimo, Nishrinam Bhavim Sharanam Prapade, Navakaratam Lavare, Nakam Adhuta Shrinam, Dalika Kashiku, Tanabraham, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Nishinare Jaya, Nishinare Jaya, Nishinare Jaya, Nishinare Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nishina Bhagavan Ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Or is it some of the words?
Hare Krishna.
This beautiful summer day. The beautiful deities in their new purple and lavender dresses. How about a little close-up of Gopal, which you don't see very often. There you go. And a little Ladu. Reading from Srinamamrita, the Nectar of the Holy Name, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Here's a conversation Srila Prabhupada is having with Lieutenant Mosey from the book The Science of Self-Realization. Lieutenant Mosey asks, there are many Christian organizations in the United States that give the Holy Communion. Why doesn't this work? Why is this not cleansing the heart? Srila Prabhupada replies, to speak frankly, I find it difficult to find even one real Christian. The so-called Christians do not abide by the Bible's order. One of the 10 commandments in the Bible is, thou shalt not kill. But where is that Christian who does not kill by eating the flesh of the cow? The process of chanting the Lord's holy name and distributing prasad will be effective if carried out by persons who are actually practicing religion. My disciples are trained to strictly follow religious principles, and therefore their chanting of the holy name of God is different from others. Theirs is not simply a rubber-stamped position. They have realized the purifying power of the holy name through practice. If you're not a true Christian, then your preaching will not be effective. And because we are strictly following religious principles, our preaching will be effective in spreading God consciousness. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Right.
here's today's Mahaprasad. I guess is that a red ranunculus or a rose?
No, that's one of our little roses from the garden, Krishna's
Okay.
garden.
So we have a little red rose from Krishna's garden outside. And I'm also outside a beautiful marigold, fragrant marigold, offered to Lord Nrsimhadev. And the Kajra ladus, date nut ladus, offered with love and devotion to Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattva, through the Guru Parampara system, beginning with the pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada. And these ladus, they contain a very nice amount of cow's ghee, liquid gold, the essential ingredient in the success of our bhakti yoga practice of taking Mahaprasadam and distributing Mahaprasad. Shri Jai. These ladus are very easy to prepare. The main ingredient is dates and ghee. You can put them in a pan on lower heat and just kind of like soften the dates, and those dates, after they're softened, will allow you to mix the ghee in. The ghee's first. Because you have to melt the ghee, heat the butter a little bit, and then heat the ghee, or heat the dates. Then at that point, you can put in so many different things. So in India, they were putting almonds in them, and I couldn't figure out what they were. I mean, we were there for a couple of months, and nobody could explain to me what exactly they were. And then years later, looked it up online, a ladu made out of dates, and that was it. There it was, Kajra ladu, date ladu. And they're so easy to make, and you can make them a kadashi or otherwise. So we often put in them like coconut and almond flour and nuts and peanut butter, or so many things you can put in. I guess you could even put in milk powder if you wanted. But they're very nice, easy to prepare, nutritious and delicious.
Yeah, and then you just, after everything's solidified, then you take a little scooper or your hand to make balls, put them on
Wax
sheets
paper,
of wax paper,
parchment, wax paper.
on, some kind of pan, and then put them in the refrigerator to harden up.
And then, after you offer them up, you dance, you chant, dance, and eat sumptuously. That's right, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu. Just like we did in St. Mark's. One of these days, I have actually lots of videos on old, not micro videotapes, but in between VHS and micro. I think they're called Super 8 tapes or something. I'm gonna put those on digital. You got Times Square Harinams, and maybe I got about Subji took those videos, some temple videos, and put those up. Remember how ecstatic those kirtans were, prasad distribution. Hare Krishna. And the plaque. Can't forget the Hare Krishna tree plaque. This is the original. Signed by Mayor Giuliani. You can see it there. Yes. And Henry Stern, the Commissioner of the Parks Department. With the Maha Mantra. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Jagannath Das Babaji ki jai. And may Hector's journey be safe and successful. My father, he was a good man in his simple way, but he was, he had hedonist qualities of drinking and so many things. Not to list all of them, but they're all there. But he had, of everybody in my family, if you distributed prasadam to them, it was like, it was just like they eat so many abominable things, but one like Simply Wonderful is like poison. But my father, who was blamed for all the problems everybody has because of his alcoholism and things like that, he loved them. He loved those Simply Wonderfuls, and he would. I mean, one time he got kicked out of a family reunion. We were visiting from New York because he was drunk. And I had made like a big container of Simply Wonderfuls. Maybe there was like 75 Simply Wonderfuls in that container. And before he left, he took that whole container home. And also one time I was visiting and I had a Bhagavatam with me, and it was just sitting in the living room, and he picked it up. And he started leafing through it, and he goes, "Can you read this?" And I said, "I can pronounce it, but I can't read the Sanskrit." And he was impressed. So anyway, he loved prasadam, and I remember one time I went to a family gathering. They told me to come, and they were barbecuing, and of course there was nothing there for me to eat. And I kind of like perceived that before I went, and I brought some veggie burgers or something at that time, and thinking that, because I couldn't bring prasadam there, my stepmother, didn't really want me bringing it over so much because of his health. So I brought those, and I ate a couple of them, and fried them in the frying pan in the kitchen, not on the barbecue, and I left the box in the freezer of the rest of them. And like maybe a year later, I came back to visit, and the freezer was full of those veggie burgers. It turned out my dad had ate those two leftover, 3 or 4 leftover ones, and for the rest of his life, he had those in the morning for breakfast. But anyway, when he passed last year, I was talking to a Vedic astrologer and gave him all the information, and he said, "Oh, your father went to the heavenly planets." And I didn't give any information about his bad qualities, just his like time of birth and time of death, stuff like that, date of birth. He said, he went to the heavenly planets, and I thought, maybe Krishna blessed him, if that astrologer is right, because he had a little bit of appreciation, even though all the simple activities. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, I'd say the veggie burger thing. So that means that was probably more than 40 years ago, like maybe somewhere between like 83, 84, 1985 or something, probably, or maybe it was later. It's in that time frame, 40 years ago. Because it wasn't prasadam, but it was a step in the right direction. Little goes a long way. That's correct, Johnny. Shri Shri Radha Mulidhar, Radha Govinda, Gaur Premananda, Shri Papa Ki Jai. All glories to the Sama devotees. Sorry Krishna Bhakti Angel Prabhu. I'll see you this evening. Jai Shri Prabhupada.